Action.
Hey, it's official, Okay,
Yeah.
Let's go.
Sweet.
All right. Welcome back, everybody, to the morning after. This is a special episode. It's the last episode before we kick off another NFL season, year 16, for the man who is sitting right next to me, which is wild to think, but welcome back. I mean, it's nice to see you, have you. I know I'm about to lose you for 7 months or so.
It's about 7 months would be good. That would be good.
That would be great.
Yeah.
I mean, I would love that. But we're lucky that we're able to squeeze this one in really quick before you head back to the NFL life. Before we get into that, though, I kind of want to just, bring up normal things that aren't NFL related. As you know, on this podcast, we do a segment called It's a Lot. I don't know if you prepared one today.
I did not.
Well, think about it while I tell you mine. How's that sound?
Sure.
So I had a situation happen today. You know about it. I don't want to go into the details because the details don't really matter. But what does matter is what comes from these type of situations. So I always feel that I'm a people pleaser, as you know, which I love and hate about myself. And when our kids are making friends at school, I always feel like I have to also create a friendship with parents. And as I'm getting older in this game, I'm starting to realize that I don't have the time, the bandwidth, or a big enough heart to befriend every single parent of every single friend my child makes.
Yeah, you missed lunch today, so you don't have a lot of time to get.
Okay, yes. I didn't eat lunch today. Matthew's on a long day, so this might be a podcast. We're going to do our best.
Bear with me.
So here's my thing. What's a lot is the expectation that if your kids are friends with other kids, that you have to then befriend the parent. Like, I know you're like very settled. You never feel like you have to do that. You're not a people pleaser. You're the complete opposite. Like, I love you so much. You don't care to piss people off, which is honestly something that I'm learning that sometimes you have to do. But you know the situation that happened. Like, when you're cordial.
Mm.
Oh, man. Okay.
Yeah.
You're cordial. And I do feel like we put pressure on ourselves to have to befriend everyone. And then it kind of backfires in your face.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you feel that pressure. I have no problem going to a school function of any kind that we've had and just standing in the corner. Like, that's okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, certain times I'm uncomfortable. I'm also just not, like, very comfortable in places where I don't know a whole lot of people. Mm-hmm. I also feel like there's a lot of times where I walk into a room where I know nobody and they all feel like they know me.
Yeah.
And so that is intimidating to me / not really where I want to be. So a lot of times I probably put off a vibe of like, man, this guy really doesn't want to be here, which I guess is somewhat true, but it's not because anything other than the fact that like I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah. Well, and I love that about you. You just very much humbled yourself in a way because everyone knows you don't like a spotlight on you or anything like that. And you walk into a situation where you do feel like everyone knows who you are and you know nobody. And you said that you are intimidated.
Oh, yeah.
Which, to be honest, I think that probably surprised a lot of people that came out of your mouth because on the field, you're so stoic, you have so much confidence. And in our life, I feel like you're like that. I understand that you don't like those situations. Yeah. But I do think there is an aspect of in our life that it could be different from a lot of people. And it's the fact that sometimes we feel the need to protect our children because I feel like there are people out there that are pushing their children on ours.
Yeah, I would imagine. I mean, everybody out there is trying to protect them, but we might have a few more unique situations than other people. But I'm sure that happens to people for all sorts of different reasons all across the board. But it is a somewhat uncomfortable situation and one that just needs to be, like you did today, handled with, sternness, but also grace and understanding that there's certain times where that's appropriate and certain times where it's not. And from what you told me today, I feel like you did a good job.
Well, I hope I did. But it fears me because all I want for our girls is genuine relationships.
For sure.
And my biggest fear is that, and it is very apparent when it happens, kids pushing their kids on ours. It's happened before, and you see it. You see it immediately. And that is one of my fears, that our girls will develop a relationship with a child who didn't really want to be friends with our kids in the first place.
Yeah, I get that.
And so anyways, I just thought it was like that happened probably a couple hours ago. And it's been on my mind since transferring schools. You know, I felt like the girls were very protected at their past school.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this school is unsafe by any means. I'm just saying there's different dynamics that us as parents are going to have to navigate. And I also have to navigate getting to know new parents, but also having boundaries. Like, listen, I can't be your best friend, even if our kids are best friend. I have a huge family. We have good friends. I'm not saying my heart's not open to it. My heart's always open to making new friends. But maybe in year 4 or 5, if our kids are still close, I guarantee you we'll have a relationship.
Yeah.
But if you're pushing on me already and it's day 4, I'm kind of out.
I get that. Yeah, we're not from here, so I mean, there's a lot of people that have previous relationships from where they grew up, around here in the area, in the valley, wherever. So I know that also, plays a role in it as well.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what my it's a lot is?
Yes, I do.
I thought of it while you were talking.
Yay.
But I promise I was listening to you too.
Doubtful. Selective.
What we just talk about? No. It's not even that good, but I just was thinking, sitting there going, man, what was a lot in the last 10 days for me? Going back home, the heat in Texas is so real.
Worse than this.
Oh man, it's been hot where we are in California.
Yeah,
we just moved
Valley.
facilities into Woodland Hills, and it's hotter there than it was in our old place in Thousand Oaks. But the worst time I ever had playing sports, weather-wise, was when I was like 12 years old. We did a national baseball tournament down in Houston, and they were playing. They turned on the misters in the dugout, and by the time the mist got to your face, it was like steam. So we had them like take it off because it was so hot, and then you were just like swampy and sweating and hot at 12, and I've never felt like more like suffocated playing a sport.
Well, you hate being dirty too.
Yeah, it's not fun. And so then
9 showers
we went
a day.
back and played. We practiced against the Texans the other day in Houston, and man, I mean, it felt like somebody had a hold of my lungs the entire day, and it was just like you felt like the sun was just closer to you. Like are we now closer to the sun? But
isn't it physically closer to Houston? Isn't that why it's hotter?
No, we're probably on a pretty even latitude.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I would think Southern California.
just a
Houston.
little
I mean, maybe a
breeze
little
from the
bit, but it's not. It's just the humidity, the heat,
All of
the
it.
sun. I mean, it was just brought me back. It brought me back to like I was sitting there coming off the practice field, like, how did I do this in high school every day?
I don't know.
And like run sprints and stand there with my arms behind my back, and oh my gosh.
Well, you see. I feel like I feel like people who are passing out, and I feel like they're always in the South, I feel like. But I feel like a lot of them are coming from Texas. It's so damn hot.
Yeah.
Now, is Houston hotter than Dallas?
Yeah, just a little bit more humid. And so it's like just as hot temperature-wise, but the humidity's cranked up a little bit.
So it's like adding Georgia and Dallas together.
Yeah, and we practiced like 9 a.m. and we were walking over the freeway to get to the practice fields, and it was really hot. Like I was full sweat by the time we just walked over, and they were barbecuing already, and it was like I needed clean air, fresh air at that point, and I'm like smelling brisket at like 8:30 a.m. and I'm like, this is so hot, and all I can smell. I mean, part of me is like, the brisket smells great, but I need some fresh air right now.
Like barbecue just on your face.
Yeah,
in a way.
and we warmed up for 15 or 20 minutes outside, and then the Texans came out of their indoor facility where they've been in the air conditioning warming up for 20 minutes, and I'm like, we screwed this one up. But
they're like, did you guys just come for the pool? Or like, no.
No, it was tough. We also in that kind of mode. It was hot today where we were, Woodland Hills. We had a O-lineman puke on the football.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like standing there, and I can kind of see it happening. I'm like, this is not going to be good. And whoom, twice. And I like back up. I'm like, we need 2 new footballs and a new center. Hey, you know what? Give him credit. Puke and rally. He was in the next period. He just had to get it out of him.
Sometimes you have to.
I get it.
Now, when that happens, though, I feel like this is always a movie scene. Doesn't it not just stink? Like, how are you near that ground at all?
Well, if we want to get into the specifics of what actually was projected from
know.
this gentleman, it was mostly water. Okay. It was one of those.
It was one of those.
He was trying to keep the fluids, and But
Those
I
didn't want to stay in.
didn't want to stay. But
Okay.
you know, it was a grinder today. But these guys, they did good.
All right, y'all. So Hank and I always talk about on this podcast just trying to stop aging, or not stop it, but just, age gracefully. And this is where the people at Onskin have freaking hit a home run. The scientists at Onskin have come up with the only peptide that is scientifically proven to reverse skin's biological age. And what is that peptide called? It's called OSO1. So what happens when we age, right? Our skin accumulates all these dead cells, and these cells stop functioning normally, and they secrete these pro-aging things that trigger neighboring cells to age even faster, promoting collagen breakdown, decline in barrier function, loss of firmness, and wrinkles. And so these scientists have come up with an amazing peptide that really slows it all down. So it just is a good skin longevity situation. They have a bunch of different products. I am obsessed with their starter bundle right now, but they had a 12-week clinical study, and the OSO1 face was clinically proven to strengthen the skin barrier, improve skin health markers, and diminish visible signs of aging. Wrinkles were diminished, guys, get this, by 87%. And 87% of the users. So Onskin is the world's first skin longevity company. Onskin addresses skin health at the molecular level, targeting the root causes of aging so skin behaves, feels, and appears younger. It's time to get started with your new face, eye, and body routine. I know Hank and I are. At a discounted rate today, get 15% off with the code morningafter at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code morningafter. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. We only have one body, one skin, and only you can choose to make it better. Age healthy with Onskin. Speaking of this real quick, and then we're going to go back. But if you had a son, would you let him play football?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Now, moving on. Just so you guys know. I have a good, bad hunty story for you, and I want to know how you would parent this situation.
Oh, man.
It's pretty good. It happened today as well. We pull up. We had a little play date with a bunch of friends, and we pull up to the house, and I open the door to my car to let them out, and Hunter goes, "See, look how big my house is."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to know how you'd parent that situation right there.
I would let everybody go inside except for her, and then I would pull her aside and talk to her and say, doesn't matter what your house looks like or whatever. We're here to play with our friends, and that's besides the point. Like,
so the way I handled it was wrong when I just told her to shut the fuck up.
yeah, I'm sure you did. I know.
Clearly, I didn't do that. I'm better than that.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what I went off the top of my head. I would have been like, all right, everybody go inside, Hunty, hang back with me real quick, and just talk to her and be like, hey, I obviously if you're saying it now, you've said it before,
Yeah.
right? And that really doesn't matter. Like, I know what kind of place you grew up in, what place I grew up in, like. It doesn't matter, right?
No.
Like, doesn't mean you can or can't be friends with certain people, and
it doesn't mean it like should change.
It's something like I understand, like they're little kids, right? Like they're excited about that.
They're excited to show
about
their
the
friends.
space,
Yes,
right? They're like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have fun, right? I get that, but like as you get older, it's not a habit that I would think we would want to, let linger.
No. Well, I was like, like I kind of liked it because when it happens, and I just was like, Hunter, you know that we don't talk about this house this way, and it doesn't matter how big your home is or how small your home is. It matters about the love inside,
For sure,
because that's what makes it a home.
100%.
And that's how I parented it. But I walked in and I was like,
that and a good podcast studio.
True. Need that. No, but I was like, I walked in and I wanted to be like, shut the fuck up, Hunter. But I didn't.
Well, good. I'm proud of you for not doing that.
Well, I didn't know these children as much as I know like our friends' children. So I couldn't
even say that you would have felt comfortable enough to do that. No,
I'm just kidding.
I
know. Okay, so we are obviously kind of getting into the season. I want you to point out a few things that are different in and out of season, like scheduling. Kiera pointed out a great one earlier.
Entire life.
Yeah, I know your entire life, but like she was like, "Does he eat anything different?" I was like, "No."
Yeah.
You wake up at a different time, right? I've noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out of here pretty early.
Yeah.
Yeah, my days start early. This week we don't really have. It's kind of that tweener week. Before we get into week 1, but I'm still trying to just train myself into what I'm going to be doing during the season. So I'm up and out of here pretty early. Just knowing that I don't stick around as late as I used to because I have 4 kids, and I do have a guy that I come home and do treatment with every, an hour every single day. So like I spend a lot of that extra time that guys would be taking care of their bodies, at the facility. I do it here just in case the girls want to come down and say, hey, while they do it, or I can be around if you need to run out and do something. I can be home enough to do that kind of stuff. So I try to get most of that stuff done on the front end, so that I can be around here for the afternoon. But yeah, I mean, I would say schedule is definitely different. My time is just becomes more valuable. Not than anybody else. I'm saying the time in my day, right? Like I just don't have 30 minutes even sometimes to do anything. So, it just becomes important to be scheduled out, which we are good at as a family, and get those things done. I would say those two are the biggest things. And just like, me being around as much, right?
Yeah.
Like, I try to be around as much as I possibly can in the off season. I love being around, so it's easy to do. But during the season, it's tougher.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you one thing that really changes is not like your schedule, yes, but the schedule of your eating habits. Because you wake up at the ass crack of dawn. Like I don't even, the sun's not up. I am mid REM sleep for sure. And you are out the door. Now, tell me, like, I know, like, before you didn't eat much for breakfast. Now you eat breakfast. Do you eat right when you get there at the ass crack of dawn?
Sometimes it depends on how hungry I am from the night before, but they do a good job of having my stuff's done. They know I'm there early, so my stuff's always ready to go pretty early.
Yeah.
I'm usually eating breakfast by 6:15.
But then when's the next time you eat?
Yeah, it's a while.
It's a
then
long
we
while.
like meet and lift and then go to practice, and I usually eat at like 2.
2.
Yeah.
And you're eating breakfast at 6:30 a.m.
6:37, yeah, maybe.
Okay. See, that's a long time, especially when you're active.
Yeah, but
No wonder
I
you
don't
come home in a shit mood.
But but it's kind of weird. Like then I eat at 2 and then I eat again at dinner here, which is like 5:30. It's like, but I am hungry enough. But it is kind of interesting. I don't know. I don't love to eat twice before I practice.
I understand that.
Yeah, like training camp, we practiced at 4:40 or something, and it was like,
You feel, oof.
Yeah, I just didn't like having all that. So
That would be tough.
yeah.
Well, also, and another thing that changes is that nice old office, you talk about my podcast studio, that nice old office over there gets a little more of your time.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it does.
This office, y'all, I wish you could see it. It's amazing. It's beautiful. They did a great job. But God bless.
A lot of officing going on in there.
Officing for people who work limited amount of
Yeah,
time.
heavy officing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, one thing I am very excited about, and I know once the girls realize, they are going to be very excited about, why don't you tell everybody what we are doing? And this is interesting because this is not a normal in-season thing for you to do. But you know what? I feel like
talk about this. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's not like the girls listen to the podcast.
Yeah, I know, but okay.
Well, okay. What are you scared of?
I don't know. I don't know if we wanted to tell the world what we were doing, but okay.
Well, everyone knows what Taylor Swift's doing that day.
Yeah, well, she's
and I
Taylor
feel like
Swift.
she is. Yeah, I know, and she is way more sought after than we are. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, I mean, this is where you and I differ.
Okay, here we go. Are you not going to say it?
No.
Okay, well, I'll say it. So I won't give details, but we are taking them to a Taylor Swift concert.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's well done.
And it's very interesting because it is in season.
Yes.
But it is surrounding dates that we are able to do it.
Yes.
And I honestly...
We're flying to Milan to do it.
Totally.
It's totally cheaper to go. Isn't that what everybody says?
Yeah. Actually, everyone does say that. And actually, looking at the tickets, it might be true.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I didn't look.
Holy cow.
Yeah, good for her.
We think Travis Kelce's killing it with the podcast. And then you look at one ticket for her, and I'm like, okay, never mind.
Yeah, she's doing
Although
all right.
He is killing it with the podcast. Well done.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in a second because I also have something else to tell you. But we are very excited to do this. The girls have no idea. We haven't even discussed if we're going to tell them. I think we should wake up that morning and just
I agree.
go.
I agree.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
Don't we love Taylor Swift? Because she's brought so many female fans.
Yeah.
Now I'm having to tell all my female friends what the hell's going on in the game that before they didn't care.
Yeah.
Which, thank you so much. It's very good, I know, but gosh, I kind of wish you were out of it when this happens.
No,
I didn't have to explain it all.
No, she's a rock star.
No, she's great. And to segue into what I was going to tell you is you might have a problem with Travis Kelce. Do you want to know why?
Why?
Hunter is now wearing whatever she can find that has an 8 or a 7 on it.
Oh, really?
And I think it is because of that.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So tell me what is the conversation going to be? Thank goodness we don't play the Chiefs. I don't know if I think she might wear his jersey.
Yeah, that would be a tough one. Tough pill to swallow for me.
Would I just be like, you're not allowed unless you can't come to the game?
Yeah, I'd threaten her. No, no, that's good. You know, I'm glad she likes the game. I'm glad she likes the game.
What were we saying the other night where she was like, oh, we get to go see Taylor Swift? And we were talking about, I was telling them about away games. I was like, we might go to some of Daddy's away games.
Oh, yeah. And she was like, is she going to be at every stadium? I'm like, no.
Yeah. I literally said, I go, listen, I'm not going to take you unless you really want to go watch your dad play, because that is why we're going. You guys can let me know. But, there's going to be no coloring. There's going to be no iPads, none of that. Like, either you're going to watch or you're not going at all. And she was like, wait, so is Taylor Swift going to be there? And we were like, no. She was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, she was less excited.
Totally disinterested after that. I was like, okay, well, we know where that stands.
Yeah.
But it's okay.
So it is.
It is.
It's okay.
Okay. Well, we'll see.
Yep.
So.
What are you doing?
Was that good?
Yeah, what was that?
You don't know what that was?
No.
That's a problem. You don't know what that was?
No. I mean, a dog?
As in
calling
what?
the dogs, babe.
Oh, God.
So,
Look how uncomfortable I just got.
Yeah.
This is what happens when everybody does that to me in the street.
I love it so much because it's so
I
true.
just am like, oh.
Like, not even.
Why are you barking in public, human being?
It is very true. And even honestly, when someone's like, hey, Matt, go dogs, you're like, uh-huh. Like, it's so.
I just.
Like, why? But here's my question. Why not just say go dogs back?
I don't know. It feels so foreign. Feels wrong.
Feels true.
If somebody said go Rams to me, I would not say go Rams back.
That's true. But the dogs do it differently. And you should know this by now.
Yeah.
You married a Georgian. You married into a Georgia family.
Yeah. I
so
get
when
it.
we say go dogs, you say.
Yeah, man.
Is that the move?
Yep.
That's
man.
literally what it is. Or you're just like,
Thanks. Yep.
Yeah, thanks. They're not saying it to you.
I feel like they are.
Okay. Well, I cracked up at that because so many Georgia people got offended.
Sweating
and
now.
Your reaction was really
So
good.
uncomfortable.
It was
I
perfect.
thought it was some like social media thing. I didn't know what it was. I'm like,
He looks at me like,
I'm
what
like,
Gen Z shit did you just
Yeah.
put me up to?
it's like, am I supposed to be? I did
I
not
love
get
you.
that one.
Sorry, we had to do it to you. But I love how so many Georgia people got so offended that
Yeah.
you.
Oh, did they?
Oh, yes, they did. I know you're not on anything. I mean, you technically are, but you're not. Yes, they were very sad.
Disappointed in me.
They were very disappointed in you. But
I'm gonna have to live
spill
with
it.
that.
but gonna spill another thing. We might go back to Georgia for a Georgia game, so you might see us there.
Yeah.
Which we are.
If they'll
Well,
have me.
I'm definitely going back with the Cleat Chaser tour,
Nice.
but we might go back and take our daughters. We really want to, and some of our friends. We want our
Yeah.
friends to experience some SEC football, so we might be back. So if you see Matthew, please
Please
bark at him.
don't.
Please do.
I'm gonna wear headphones.
Headphones and just massive sunglasses and a
Yes.
hoodie.
Yes.
Okay, so look for that guy.
That'll be me.
I'll make sure his headphones don't work or something. I just went to this head spa, which these have been popping up, and I just really wanted to give it a try because I love a good head massage. And the lady was like, "Oh my gosh, your hair is so thick and it feels so healthy," And obviously, I dye my hair. I'm very blonde right now. And she's like, "I've never seen a blonde that is this thick." And I told her, I was like, "Well, I've been on Nutrafol for a few years now, and honestly, I think that is the reason." She had heard about it. She was like, "Man, I'm going to order mine right now." I said, "Not until you get my code. Let me give you my code." But Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1 million people. See thicker, stronger, faster growing hair with less shedding in just 3 to 6 months with Nutrafol. I know I'm talking to a lot of new moms. I know I'm talking to a lot of older moms. I know I'm talking to just a lot of women in general. And guys, it doesn't just happen in men. It happens in women. In fact, 1 out of 2 women experience hair thinning. So Get the result you can run your fingers through. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code morningafter. Find out why over 4,500 healthcare professionals and stylists recommend Nutrafol for healthier hair. Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code morningafter. That's Nutrafol.com, promo code morningafter. And now we're kind of like obviously segueing into football. I kind of want to get your opinion on this, which you don't have to give it because I don't know.
Great.
I don't know.
Love that.
No, but this is a hot topic. Your teammates have talked about it. They're rolling out all this turf for all these soccer teams coming in a lot of stadiums.
Grass, you mean?
Yeah, sorry.
I know
Grass.
what you meant.
Thank
Yep.
you. And then they're rolling it back out.
Yeah.
Does that like frustrate you at all?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Because on my side of it, I'm looking at it going, to be honest, turf, yes, causes injuries to the limbs. But my biggest thing is the injuries it causes to your head.
Yeah. I just know, like, a lot of guys in the locker room, like, the way you feel after a game when you play on grass versus the way you play on turf is a pretty noticeable difference.
Yeah.
I understand that, I don't know what all the numbers are. I'm not, like, doing all the science stuff. But just from a anecdotal experience, it's quite a big difference playing on grass and turf.
Yeah.
And, I think that's something that a lot of the international soccer federations, basically put in their, whatever they want to call it, collective bargaining agreement. But like, that would be something that if I was, in one of those meetings, I would be fighting for as much as we possibly could to play as many possible games on grass as we can.
Well, I think in the younger players hopefully can fight for it, because I know it's probably not going to happen in your time, but I think there is an issue there. Like I would hope that in the future NFL is all played on grass. Do you think that's even capable in the distant future? I'm not saying by the time you're done. I'm not saying next year. I'm not saying in 5. I'm just saying in the okay, because there are teams that you clearly it can be done.
Well, yeah, I mean it's 8 times a year at a typical home stadium.
Yeah.
It's not 81 baseball games that you would have to roll grass in. It's 8 times.
Yeah.
And I would think if you ask guys in the NFL if they'd rather play on grass that had been rolled in, 2 days before or whatever they have to do.
Yeah.
Or play on a AstroTurf or the turf we play on, I'm sure I would think that the majority of guys would want to play on grass if you could.
Yeah.
And I think when you look back in the day, like I remember playing high school football games on old AstroTurf, which is like no longer around at all. Used to give you horrible. Yeah, it was terrible. Right? It was like concrete, and then they laid this little thin layer of turf. So the playing surface has gotten better. Yeah. But I still think there's room for improvement.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's something obviously that I would hope for the future generations. I mean, we see injuries, we see how brutal this game is with it even being on grass. Yeah. And so I would just hope for their health that moving forward, maybe it can change because we're showing that it can be done. Yeah. And I mean, you think about it from an investment standpoint, if you're an owner, right? Like, I understand that there is a monetary issue, but it costs money to do that, especially if you've already put down a turf field or whatever that is. And I get it. Sure. But at the same time, if I'm a owner of a business or an owner of an NFL team, I sit there and go, well, I made a substantial, investment in a lot of the guys on the team too, right? Yeah. So like that's a way of quote unquote protecting your investment. They have it. So I mean, listen, it's not in my pay grade to make those decisions, but I think it would be cool to someday get to that point. I totally agree. I find it interesting, all these contract negotiations were happening. There were holdouts. There were people who got paid really large sums. And it's interesting to me, you have always been so private, and we know this, and you're even private during these type of situations. There are some guys who are not like that, who kind of let the public in on all the negotiations, who let them in to what's happening. Do you think there's a benefit to that? Or do you think it doesn't matter?
I don't know. I don't think it really matters that much, to be honest with you. I don't think that the football side, front office side cares that much about what is going on in the outside world and what people think out there. I think the people that, are in the outside of the, building of the people that are going to end up, ultimately writing the checks, think they have a lot more sway than they probably do because from a, from a ownership front office standpoint, it's, hey, can you produce on the field? And if you can, what is the value to our team?
Right.
And it either is X, Y, or Z, or it's not.
Yeah.
And then there's the go and market for all those guys at those positions. But I don't know. I'm not.
I know you never do it, so it's not like you would ever like experience that.
I would feel so just not in my personality to.
No, it's not. Which is why people love you too.
Figure out. Yeah.
Well, I think, and why I even like mention that, I think it's really interesting to watch contract negotiations go down from a standpoint of no one else knowing except for the people that are actually doing it. I also think it's really interesting that you said, the front office is in the end the one handling it. That might be the only thing that media can't sway. Like, I feel like media can sway a lot of things.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because y'all's stuff is everything else that you guys do is so public, like your the money, all of that. But what goes down to get to that point, it's interesting that people can either make that very public or keep it private. And I just didn't know if there was like a benefit to either way.
Yeah, I mean, we say the eye in the sky don't lie, right? Like that's what we say. It's either out there on tape or it's not, right?
I love
and
that.
Certain times, there's obviously extenuating circumstances where it's like a necessity for a team to keep a player or to not have a player. We might have an excess of a certain position.
Yeah.
The guy's good enough, but man, we have 3 other guys that are better, and we, it's a luxury at that point. And can we get something, whatever it is, those kind of things. But it's, it really comes down to, can you go out there and perform on the field, and can you do it? And that's why our league is such a high pressure league. I mean, you can't sit there and just tell people you're good at it. You got to go out there and do it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And you know what? If it sucks too, it doesn't suck. I think it's kind of awesome, but there's so little of you in I'm talking NFL players in general. And if you can't this is what's crazy to me with contract negotiations. I'm like, are they that good? And some people are, right? Are they that good that there is nobody else that can do what they do?
It's a hard game.
Like that. And it's incredible. It blows my mind.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like there's so many people trying to get to the NFL and doing whatever they can. And one person who is so damn good and is sitting out and waiting for that contract, and they still can't be touched. It's incredible. I think it's like, but that is why they're holding out, because they're untouchable.
Well, it's not even that. It's just guys want to make sure that they're, what's the one, leverage point that you have as a player, right? Like the guys that own these football teams, and now some of the private equity that they're going to let in, right? Like these guys have 3 commas, right? Like everybody's got billions of dollars. And so it's like, what's my only thing to negotiate against that? I can't sit there and go, you don't have that. So a lot of these guys, I would imagine, feel like the biggest thing you can do is withhold your services, right? Like, okay, well, this is my biggest, bargaining chip in my camp is to withhold my services. And I think that's why a lot of guys end up doing that.
Yeah. And it is, at the end of the day, it's a team sport. You need everyone out there I just feel like to get that charisma and all that before the season starts. So holdouts really, I feel like they affect the team.
Yeah. But I think guys in the locker room, especially nowadays, are like, yeah, man, all these kids are coming from college getting paid. They're like, they get it. Like this is
their livelihood.
Yeah, it's a livelihood. It's a skill. It's something they work really hard for, and they want to make sure that they're, optimizing their opportunity to generate income.
Yeah, well, I meant that more on like the owner side. Like, I would hope the owner of the front office, and I'm sure they do, they notice that when people aren't out there, the career, like, or when they come back, things shift.
Yeah.
So I think it does play a part. It's very interesting.
Yes.
That whole dynamic. I mean, obviously you went through a little bit of it, but not nearly as much as like other people that we watched. So I don't know. That whole situation, I just didn't know. Sometimes I feel like the public is so powerful, but
this is great. This is like why you and I differ.
I know. I know.
You're like, look at all these people talking about this. I'm like, yeah, it don't matter to me.
I know, it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
I know, but it's also why we work. And I also respect you.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I was like, whatever decision you decide is the right one, and that's true, and it was, and it's great. And here we are. We're all good. You were in camp every single day. You didn't
we're
miss
talking
one.
about me. I wasn't talking about me.
Oh well, now I am. Okay. Well, anyways. All right, y'all. We're in our back to school era, meaning our kids are going back to school, and some of us, if we have the luxury to have a little bit of free time, we're sitting there going, well, what the hell do we do now? We've longed for this freedom, and now we have it. This is where I really felt that therapy came into play, because I've lost like curiosity in things, and they've kind of like helped me. Okay, well, what do you want to learn? I've always wanted to learn how to garden. I've wanted to learn just like the basics of it. Maybe I can do some fruits and vegetables out there. I don't know. And so they've really encouraged me to reconnect with this kind of stuff. And this is what I love. Therapy can come in all shapes and sizes. It can also just like help you in totally different ways than what we might think of. So if you have been thinking about therapy, rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp. It's convenient. It's easy. I've talked about it before, but I love BetterHelp because there's good therapists, but it's just so easy for me to do. You can visit betterhelp.com/morningafter today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/morningafter. For a second, and maybe we might have to take this out.
Can't wait.
But 2 weeks ago, we had a mishap happen.
Yeah.
I woke up. Actually, let me
Set the stage.
Yeah, I'll set the stage. I
There you
was
go.
gonna say preface it. That's right.
That
right.
also works.
So let me set the stage. We're down knives in our house. I'm not sure why. Some steak knives.
Knife thieves.
Yeah, some knife thieves are coming in. I don't know where they're disappearing to, but they're gone. And so Matthew's like, we don't have any steak knives. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna handle that. So I order, and he loves a sharp knife. So you know what? I was like, you know what? 16th season, here's your season gift. I'm going to get you a nice steak knife set.
Yeah, they're nice.
They are nice. And they come in sets of 4, right? So I get 3 to have the 12 set. I think that's a normal setting, right? 12? Sure. Okay, whatever.
It's enough.
And so I am opening the first box one night, and I am realizing how horrible the packaging is. I'm talking, guys, it is in a thin-ass cardboard sliver.
Yeah, sheath.
Yeah, sheath sliver with a bubble wrap around just the tip. So,
Well done.
And so, like, when you slide it out, it like cuts through the card. It's just it's poor packaged.
Yeah.
And so I do one box, and I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of tired. Like, I'm not going to do the next box. It's late. I feel like I might cut myself.
Yeah.
So the next morning we wake up, the box is sitting on the counter, and my sweet husband is like, what can I do to help? And he's like, hey, I'm going to open these. Can I open these box of knives? And I was like, yes, please do that. I go, but babe, like, just be really careful because they're incredibly sharp, and I just be careful. That's literally what I said.
Yeah, you did.
All of a sudden, I'm in the back prepping the girls' lunch or something, and I hear, ah! And I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, you knew right away.
Oh my God, I knew.
No.
I knew. My heart dropped. Y'all, and I'm talking at one point, I had the knife, like, when I was unpackaging them, because I couldn't figure out, I had the knife sticking into my chest, like pulling the other way.
Yeah.
But like easily could have just slid that thing right into my heart. My head goes to the worst place. I'm like, he stabbed himself.
No.
He stabbed himself in the heart. Like I run around to find my sweet, sweet husband.
I was scared.
Clenching his hand in the sink.
Oh.
So then obviously immediately, which is horrible. Your mom did the same thing.
Yeah, everybody
so I don't feel so
Everybody
bad.
did.
I'm like, which hand is it?
Yeah.
And he is holding his left hand.
So we're good.
Whew, everyone just relaxed on their
Yes,
fantasy.
everyone
costumes
relax.
right now.
He's totally fine.
Oh,
The
good.
stitches are gone. Doesn't, whatever. But we have to go
Yeah.
to the hospital.
It was
Meanwhile,
tough.
This was the first day we were going to take the kids to the school to do their little meet and greet play date with
Yeah.
all the kids at the school. It was on
Yeah.
a Saturday. And meanwhile, instead, we are driving to the emergency room. Just describe what you thought happened.
Yeah, no, I opened the first one, and however I tried to do it, it worked pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
And then I tried to open the second one the same way, and it got stuck. And I just didn't think, and I just grabbed the thin cardboard,
cut right through it.
and it just went right through it. Yeah, thought I cut my thumb off, but it was still attached. Pretty good.
And like, remember, you like didn't.
I was scared. Yeah, it was like
It was so sharp.
It didn't miss a beat going through my thumb. Like it was like, but I knew
Great steak
it didn't
knife.
even.
I'll drop the brand later.
100%. Highly recommended. Have someone you don't like undo the packaging. But I
to the lady at the school.
yeah.
Today.
Oh man. But yeah, I was just scared because I mean it went through my hand so smooth. I was like, oh no, what'd I do? And when I looked down, it wasn't a good picture. But
Oh my God, it was so bad.
But
You
all
were
in
so
all,
lucky.
I was very, very lucky.
The fat. It went through the fat.
Went through the fat part. We didn't like
You
hit any
almost
tendons. Or anything.
fainted.
Yeah, I didn't. It didn't look good.
And you know what?
From my
Sweet
view.
Sawyer.
I know,
Talk about
but I gathered myself.
You did an incredible job.
Yeah, I was like, we got to go now. Like,
Yeah.
I was a little scared.
And Sawyer was the only one awake.
Sawyer was the only one awake. She was down there, and she like followed us into the garage. She was like, "What's going on? What's going on?
She was
What's
so
going on?"
scared.
And I like took a deep breath before we got in the car. I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be good. I gotta get some stitches in my thumb. It's not gonna be a big deal. Daddy's gonna be back in a couple hours. We'll be good."
You like pulled it together.
Yeah.
It was honestly, I feel like sometimes I can do that, but no, I can't. That if I would have done what you've done, I would have been like, be scared for mommy. Just worry about me because
Feel
I'm
bad for me.
I'm kidding. Like, feel for me, babe. Feel for me.
Yeah, no.
No,
was
but
good.
we were lucky. It was just her because I feel like she's emotional, but she can also collect her emotions. Like
Yeah,
she's very
she
much
can.
like you. Like if it was Chandler, I feel like we would have left and she would have been a hot mess.
Yeah.
And I love her. Like it's just that would have been me.
Yep.
Like Chandler's a little more like me, Sawyer's a little more like you when it comes to the emotions. But guys, I mean, what
Terrible Saturday morning.
It was horrible.
Yeah. We're okay though.
The worst part, like cleaning it out, was
Yeah, it wasn't good.
no, and oh,
Numbing it up and all that, but
But you're good.
I'm great. Thanks to the docs.
Thanks to
Appreciate
the
you guys coming in on Saturday morning.
I felt horrible about
Yeah.
that too. Everyone's like trying to get their kids ready for back to school, and here we are with a sliced thumb from opening the knives.
Yeah.
Not even using the knives,
I know.
just opening them.
I know.
All right, again, but I will drop that brand because that brand is great. This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Let's face it, sometimes multitasking can be overwhelming. Like when your favorite podcast is playing and the person next to you is talking and your car fan is blasting, all while you're trying to find the perfect parking spot. But then again, sometimes multitasking is easy, like quoting with Progressive Insurance. They do the hard work of comparing rates so you can find a great rate that works for you, even if it's not with them. Give their nifty comparison tool a try, and you might just find getting the rate and coverage you deserve is easy. All you need to do is visit Progressive's website to get a quote with all the coverages you want, like comprehensive and collision coverage or personal injury protection. Then you'll see Progressive's direct rate, and their tool will provide options from other companies all lined up and ready to compare, so it's simple to choose the rate and coverages you like. Press play on comparing auto rates, quote at progressive.com to join the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states and situations. Prices vary based on how you buy. We're going to get a little more deep, okay? Are you ready?
Deeper, yes. As we say to our kids, like the most deepest, you know?
Oh, shit.
We're going to get a little more deeper. It's like, no,
Did I say that?
You said more deep. I think it's just deeper.
Oh, shit. Yeah, more deep is...
Okay, I'm the words girl. Like more deep or deeper are
They both
fine.
work?
They
Okay.
both work.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
Oh, yeah. Our girls do like to say, like, more happier. And
Yeah,
like,
this makes me the most happiest. I'm like, we don't need to triple stamp the double stamp. We get it. You're pumped.
Wow, well done. Triple stamp the double stamp. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to get deeper,
Like
as you
that.
like to say.
Perfect.
What is your mindset going back to Detroit?
Oh, I'm deeper. Thought you were gonna hit me with something like non-football.
Oh no, sorry, it is football.
They're gonna be like, tell me about. Do you think aliens are real?
We
no.
can. Well, I like
no,
that
no,
question.
no. We don't have enough time.
We actually have plenty of time.
No. Go back to Detroit. I'm excited. Like, listen, it's an awesome opportunity. They're a really good football team. They
Yeah.
made it to the NFC Championship last year. Really talented. Bringing back a lot of guys. Big challenge. been back there once already over that. And it's also the start of a season, right? Last year was win or go home, and a little bit more finality to it. This one, obviously, want to go win every single football game we play in, but we're just using it as an opportunity to go get better and hopefully win a game, you know, and that's kind of the mindset. But we know it's going to be a huge challenge. They present challenges schematically, but also personnel wise. They've got really good players.
Also, they're really fucking loud in that stadium.
Yeah, it's gonna be communication, all that, right? Like it's all a huge challenge. So
Hank was talking about how they had false starts in preseason.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I talked to some of the guys from some other teams and some coaches from other teams, and said it was rocking and rolling. So I mean, they're excited about them. They should be excited about them, and we'll have to go in there and communicate. At a high level.
I mean, who do you think is in that NFL office when they're coming out of that schedule and they're going, ooh, let's do this again?
Yeah, I mean, the NFL is, genius when it comes to that stuff, right? Like, what do you want to give people on the airwaves to talk about? Well, let's give them storylines going into week one.
Into it.
Yeah, right? Like, okay, so what are they going to talk about in the middle of July when, training camp practices haven't happened yet and all that kind of stuff. And so
they usually talk about me and the shit I say. So
yeah, thanks for that. And
oh, thanks for that.
Just kidding.
What the fuck?
No, but I mean, it's storylines, right? They want to do that, and so that's what it'll be.
Well, I am excited for you to go back there, and I hope it is a incredible experience. I know we've had amazing experiences there. And I'm going to remember those. As you know, I'm not going.
Yeah.
But I hope you kick their ass.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And not to say, obviously, I hope you kick everybody's ass.
Yeah.
Because I love Detroit. But you know what? They got their win last year. It's, now it's our turn. And I will say one thing too. Like, I hope for a second, if Martha's down there, you get a second.
Yeah.
I had such an incredible time with her last game, and considering I'm not going to be there, I would hope maybe you get a slight second to even just wave and say hello. I don't know. I've always had so much respect for her and that family. So I don't know. I'm happy for them, but again, I hope you kick their ass.
Yep.
Now we do have time, so tell me all about the aliens.
No, I'm not going there.
Why?
Because it's just, we don't need to do it.
No, yeah, we do. We have time.
No, it's something else.
Why?
Pick your paper back up. Let's stick to the script.
There's no more script. It's out. It's over.
Perfect.
Okay.
Well, time's up, ladies and gentlemen.
No, Tea for time. It's a great segue.
Woo!
It's a great segue
What?
to you. It doesn't have to do with you.
Perfect.
Great segue to something that is fun that is coming up. This will be the last show of the morning after with Kelly and Hank. Wait. That comes out on Tuesday. It will be now moved to Thursday because Tea for Timeout. We have another show that will be airing on Tuesdays called Kira
Timeout.
Timeout.
Oh, nice.
And guys, Matthew's gonna be really happy about this. Someone paid us a lot of money to talk about the football games after they happen. So we will not be discussing football in the morning after, but if you would like a little tiny taste of football, you can come to the Timeout podcast, which will be dropping every Tuesday.
Are we going expert level, or what are we?
Oh, have you met me?
Yes.
Wow.
I don't even know that. It went over my head.
I can't wait.
As in, no, I do not know anything about football.
Are you guys going deep dive into the X's and
no.
O's? Or?
Now, if you're looking for the X's and O's.
I was wondering if you need to use my office for it. That's what I was wondering. Really get on the grease board and.
Well, I wouldn't want to give up your plays that have been on that whiteboard. I'm not kidding. This whiteboard has remained the same. For how long?
Well, yeah, there's a portion of it that has remained the same since I got here in 21.
How? We have kids. How has that shit not been erased?
I don't know.
It's crazy. They know not to go in his office. And meanwhile, I come in and they're all over here. This. They're like on the mic, like, hi.
Well, yeah, this is way more fun than my office.
Well, yeah, yours
I have
is
a
definitely
cowboy
more
clicker and a TV and.
Yeah, okay. Yours is definitely more manly. But we're very excited. It won't just be about football. There will be a small segment about football. And then also, and it's not going to be X's and O's. It's more going to be like, I don't know, our experience at the game. And then we will move into other things that we will let you guys know about. We're very excited about this. So yeah, it'll be Kiera and I just in here on Tuesday.
Just two gals chopping it up about
gals.
football weekend, man.
yeah.
Wow.
Oh, okay. Listen.
No, I'm excited
Yeah,
for you guys.
uh-huh.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
and I'm here to call tea whenever we get a little dicey.
Okay.
Yes.
That's-
See?
Yeah.
That's why we're the tea.
That's why it's
Please,
timeout.
heavy. You have unlimited timeouts.
Yep, unlimited.
Unlimited.
Yep.
How many timeouts are there usually allowed?
3.5.
Three and a half.
Yeah.
Oh, 3.5.
Correct.
I thought you said
3
3 and a half. I was
No,
like, what
no,
the
no.
fuck does that mean? I didn't know there were 60 and 20-second timeouts.
No.
What sport is that?
Basketball.
Thank you very much. Did you know that?
No. I just ordered football for dummies on Amazon. I'm not even kidding. I was like, gotta learn.
I love her. See how prepared she always is.
It's gonna be good.
I probably need that book. No, there is like a new thing for kids that actually I think we talked about it. No, didn't talk about it, but they sent a box of kids, the way kids can learn sports,
Yeah.
which I think is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I
Especially if
agree.
you have like a little girl and you want to make it like a daddy-daughter situation or mom-daughter. I'm not judging. Yeah, moms go to games too. I do. But so your kid can like understand the game because obviously when they're watching something, it's better when you understand it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that, listen, we'll link that too because I feel like there's probably some women out there that can stop asking me and just order this
just
kit
do the
and they
kids
can learn
kit.
it
They did
themselves.
that. They did that. Coach Rick did that at Georgia for the moms. They had a moms
is-
camp, and I don't know if like he ran. I think he like was like part of it, but they had like like the women's leader come. I think it might have been his wife at that point. Did a deal for the moms, and so they could come out and like get some basics.
That's actually brilliant.
Yeah, it was cool.
How about them dogs?
Yeah, man.
Well, anyways, we're going to look into that. That could be a really fun thing to put together.
That would be really fun.
We might need some like points. Can you run the camp?
Oh, bullet points.
Yeah, that.
Uh,
You run the camp.
nominal fee.
We'll take
I'm
the money.
available. Talk to my management team. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Well, we are very excited about that. And the morning after is going to be moved to Thursday, so that will not change. Will be the same.
No, and that's actually, I just want to say that's even better because we're going to be able to record with Hank most weeks.
Yes.
So it can be these real-time
Yes.
reactive episodes to parenting up and downs
Yes.
and all that.
Yes, we heard y'all after the last one of how you guys just kind of like the chaos and kind of just being in the real time situation. So we are going to be doing more of that. Also, reminder that the Cleat Chaser Tour there's tickets available at some places, Chicago being one of them. So all you Detroit people, Chicago's the real deal. It's very fun. Come to Chicago. If you didn't get your tickets in Detroit, that's at themorningaftermedia.com/tour. You know what? I'm kind of disappointed. The LA showing has not been great.
Yep. I mean, this.
That's rude.
No, I was not an indictment on you at all.
It's well, I guess, okay. I know where you're getting at.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff to do out here.
There's a lot. That's why
So
I
you're
said.
competing against a lot of things.
Yeah. And I also feel like LA's more last minute people. They're
Yeah,
like,
that's probably true.
I actually have nothing to do, so I'll go.
Yeah, it's probably true. They gotta know. They can't tell if the surf's gonna be good that day or not.
Very true.
If the surf's good, tough, might have a small crowd. Surf's not so good, might have a big crowd.
Well, I'm gonna pray for whatever that moon, whatever that gravity. What does it? The moon.
Yeah, a little bit of moon. Yep.
What's it called though?
Gravity.
Is it gravity?
Well, gravity is what.
tides?
Gravity pull
The gravity pull creates tides.
from the moon.
Correct.
Thank you. Everyone's nodding in agreement.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't feel as.
No, you're good. You nailed it.
Also, Athens, we'll keep you updated on that. We're still waiting on the time of the Tennessee game. Also, for the Athens one, we're not sure if we're going to do tickets to that or if it's just going to be a walk-up situation. We do know, however, that it is going to be at Bourbon Street Bar. Can you give me your favorite memory from there?
Oh, man.
Besides me?
Okay, besides you, yeah. I got a couple. Rod Battle was an old.
man.
That's apparently what I've been doing these past couple days. Been shouting out people on podcasts. But
love
Rod Battle, it's an old defensive end of ours, and he used to get up on the bar and
This is a large man.
yeah, defensive end, big dude,
Uh-huh.
jack dude, but he would derobe to some degree, and run up and down, slide on the bar.
Like belly or knees?
Yeah, no belly. Yeah.
Oh, and this is not a clean bar.
Full send.
I mean, it is a clean bar, but bar top at a college bar. I mean, there's drinks spilled everywhere.
Yeah, I don't think we were too concerned with that at the moment.
No, clearly.
But that's like a pretty core memory from in there. I mean, I had so many fun times in there. It was a great place.
Oh,
We spent a lot of time there. Just a lot of guys on the team would go in there after games and hang out.
Hang out.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, when we were there, it was known as a freshman bar, but we never left.
Yeah.
And I didn't leave because you didn't leave.
Well, yeah, and Athens is so unique in the fact that like if you go to one bar, you're not like stuck there, right? You're 10 steps from another one, right? So we bounced around, and then at some point would always checking to see what was going on.
You were checking to see if I was there?
Yeah, 100%.
What? God, I was checking to see if you were there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cute.
That was so sad. My God.
Well, it worked out.
Well, yeah, I guess. Damn.
I'm not saying it wasn't, but I mean,
okay. You were
hanging out with the guys.
Yeah, it's fine. Do you remember? This is gonna be tough. Do you remember the closing song in that bar?
Oh God. I want to say Sweet Home Alabama, but that's not right. What is it?
No, you can't play an Alabama song in Georgia
No,
bar.
I know. What was it?
Our God is an awesome God. He reigns. He reigns.
Is that right?
Yes.
Wow.
You don't remember that? That's how they got everyone out of the bar.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
That was like closing time. That's the song. They have a great playlist, and supposedly it's still the same.
That was the best. Is like the music was really, really good, and we had control over some of what was getting played too, which was always fun.
And it's not. And what's great about it too, it's not like new hip hop music or anything. It's like old songs.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head right now. That's like
It was like good old school rap, but good country and good.
Wagon Wheel was one. Just old school.
Yeah, like
nice.
so there was some like every third or fourth song was like a good whole bar sing along song, right? Where the whole place would get going.
And there's booths in there, but no one sat. Everyone just stood.
No chance. And then the upstairs is fun.
Yeah, I know. It's a good time. So, speaking of, come to Bourbon Street.
Yeah, where do you think you'll do it on the little dance stage in
They'll
the
stand
back?
on the booth.
I'm setting up on that bar.
Are you?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
So many. I'm surprised that wasn't your favorite memory.
Yeah.
Rude. You
Well,
chose
told me
Ron
not.
Battle
You
on
told
the
me
bar?
not you.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, fine. Well, I'll take it. Not that I was on the bar or anything. Okay, so listen, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. I love you. Thank you so much for.
I love you too.
I really am so excited for year 16. I know every year is like, is it not? So I am cherishing every moment because I know when it is when you do decide that it is over, I will miss watching you play. I will love having you around every morning because I will tell you the girls are just way more at ease when you are around. As you know, I'm more of like the yeller, like we gotta go, and Matthew's kind of like fucking relax, we're good. So I know they really miss you and will absolutely enjoy when you are done. But I'll miss it all. So I'm gonna cherish all of this season. Starting with that kicking ass of Detroit, and then we'll move on from there. But I love you, and baby, year 16 looks real good on you.
Thank you. All right, thanks for having me on. Love you too, and try to keep giving our girls access to Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. That's what I'm going for.
Perfect. Also, remember to rate us 5 stars. Leave a nice review. If you're not going to leave a nice one, don't leave one at all. YouTube is on, so if you want to watch this, go to YouTube. He does look very good on camera, so ladies. Oh God, I tried to wink. That was horrible. And we do also have an extra special episode dropping this Saturday. It is just a bonus episode, and it is going to happen either the day before the big game or 2 days before the game, and it is with none other. Mm-hmm. That's right. Than Kristen Goff. So we are excited about that one as well. And football is here, guys. If you're going to games, be safe. Don't go crazy. Let's stop fighting in parking lots. It's ridiculous. Other than that, let's have a season and let's have a splash.
Make a splash.
I'm so proud of you.
Thanks.
Woo!